Yes. So again, there is here we are in the class of engineering geology. Okay. And in the last lecture, we have studied about in regarding geological structures or geological formation. We have covered what? We have covered the folds and joint. Okay. So in that regard, we were supposed to discuss today. Today's topic will be faults. Today, in structural geology, we'll be studying about all the faults that occurs within the rock surfaces and within the rocks also. Okay. So basically, first of all, consider what is fault. Okay. So all of you know the literal meaning of fault. Fault means there must be some mistake or some irregularity or some physical disintegration that it should be there. When you talk about this thing, the rocks. Okay. Whenever in respect of rocks, the fault is considered, you will be the very first literal meaning that comes in your mind is there would be a literal deviation or there will be a physical deviation. Okay. So this is very true. That is, the fault is what? It is a planar fracture or you can say discontinuity. Okay. So discontinuity where in the volume of the rock, it can be across the rock, it can be up to a certain extent of the rock, but over here how it is different from the fractures or you can say joints. Over here displacement, see, yesterday we have studied that in joints displacement is not there or you can say movement is not there in the rock, but when we consider fractures along with displacement, that is known as your faults. So this is the difference between faults and joints. Okay, what is the difference between fault and joint? In joint, there is no movement between the rocks. That means you won't be, finding displacement along the fracture. But in faults, you will be finding displacement along the fracture as a result of the tectonic movements. Okay. So what is fault? Once again, fault is a planar fracture or discontinuity in the volume of the rock in a significant manner where the displacement along the fracture has taken place due to tectonic movements. Okay. Now, uh, in science, you all have studied, in broad this thing, in layman terms. So what do you do? Whenever you are asked how earthquake is caused, you will be saying it is due to tectonic movement. There is, breakage of rocks inside, and energy is released, and therefore that energy comes out as vibrations on the earth's surface, and it causes earthquake. So that is true, but it is a result that energy release that is associated with the rapid movement on active faults. Okay, so what is the major cause of earthquakes? That is, what is the cause of earthquake? That is the energy release which is associated with the faults that are taking place inside the Earth's crust. Okay, so these earthquakes, these cause basically these faults. So active faults, they cause the earthquake. So what happens? We all know that earthquake can be, of tremendous loss to life and property. So we'll study how the formation of faults take place and how these faults are classified and identified. Okay, so here is a beautiful image which shows the fault. Now see, if had this been a joint, how would you classify whether this is a joint or a fault? So over here you can see very clearly that first of all the texture of the two rocks is quite different. Okay, so this considering this two texture, you would be able to easily identify. In this particular case, you will be able to easily identify that this is not a joint. This is a fault that has occurred between a tectonic plate, and due to that, the texture of the rock has been changed, both due to change in rock. Okay, so how will you classify? But if the texture was supposed to be same, then how would you classify? You would classify on the basis of what? On the basis of movement of the rock. Okay, so suppose if this was a joint, then ये जो crack बीच में visible है तुम लोगों को, this propagated crack along the entire rock surface, that will not be such intense. Okay, so it will not be such intense if it is a joint, but if it since it is a fault, then you can see the movement. See over here also, you can clearly see the movement. Yeah. So these fault, they occur in the brittle rock fractures. Okay, whenever a rock containing what non-metallic minerals, whenever this will be, uh, you know the fracture will occur in brittle rocks, only then the faults will occur. And these faults, wherever the fault lines are there, these are considered to be the ore veins. What do you mean by ore veins? By ore veins, we means that ores can be extracted very easily from these faults which are generated. That means the fault lines. Okay. Yeah. So there are certain terminologies related to fault. We'll be studying one by one with the help of diagram. You'll be able to understand. So first of all is a fault line. Fault line is basically what the surface trace, or you can say the locus of the fault. That means जहाँ पर भी तुम्हारा fault generate होगा, wherever the fault will occur, at that place it will leave certain traces. How it will mark its this thing territory, the fault will mark its presence with the help of a crack which is propagated. Okay. Then these fault lines can be observed even on satellite images. Since it is happening on such a large scale, it can be very easily observed from the satellite image. Now this particular whenever a fault occurs, okay, whenever a fault formation takes place, there are two components. One is hanging wall, the other one is footwall. So the fault block which is above the fault plane, that is known as hanging wall, and the one which is remaining, that is the fault block which is below the fault plane, that is always known as footwall. We'll see with the help of diagram hanging wall and footwall. See, if you consider this particular cube as a this cube shaped rock, okay, so this red line, red area, this marks the tracing of the fault, okay, or you can say ore veins is there. So this red particular line, this marks the, just a minute, I'll annotate and show you. Yeah, see, this entire thing, this reddish area, this is what, this is zoomed over here so you can see here clearly. This is your fault, okay, and ore vein can be seen very clearly inside it. So the portion or the part of the rock which is above this fault plane, this is your fault plane. The part of the rock which is above the fault plane, that is your hanging wall, and the part of the rock which is remaining, that means which is below the fault plane, that is your footwall. It is known as footwall. Okay, so always remember this thing. Footwall means whatever rock mass is there below the fault line, and hanging wall means whatever rock mass is there above the fault line, that is your hanging wall. Okay. Now there are four different types of faults. Okay. First one is normal fault, then reverse fault, then a thrust fault is there, and a transform, or it is also known as strike slip fault, or sometimes reversible, that is slip strike fault. Okay. So when it comes to dip slip faults, then it can be classified as the first three are dip slip fault. That means the fault will take place along the dip. Okay, we have studied in the previous lectures what is dip and what is strike. So out of these four, the first three fault occurs where along the dip, and the last one that occurs that occurs along the strike. Okay. Yeah, so the first one, see the image, the very first image in reverse, this one is your reverse wall. So in reverse wall, what happens, this is your hanging wall, the hanging wall goes up and the foot wall remains there, or you can say the foot wall goes down and hanging wall goes up. This occurs due to compressive force on the rocks. Then the second one is a thrust, or you can say a low angle reverse fault. Now this is quite similar to the reverse fault, but the only difference is that it is a low angle fault. That means what, the angle, see the difference, the angle over here, there is a very steep angle. Okay, so the slope, dip slip generated will be quite steep. Okay, this also it occurs due to compressive force on the rocks. Now the third one, that is the in series, that is first one, that is the normal faults. In normal faults, what happens? The hanging wall that moves downward and the footwall it moves upward. Okay, and this particular type of fault is generated due to the tensile forces on rocks. Okay, so I hope that the difference between these three is very clear to you. Then we'll move to the fourth one, but before that we'll see in detail now. See, one by one, we'll be considering all the kinds of fault. The first one is normal faults. Okay, so see over here, this is a realistic image, and this is your 3D line diagram. So you can very clearly see that what is happening. The hanging wall, it is moving downward relative to the footwall. When you are comparing it with the footwall doesn't necessarily always moves, but the relative movement is always checked. So the hanging wall is moving down relative to the footwall. And why this is happening? This is happening due to the tensile force on the rock. Okay, so it exhibits a variety of scales. Like over here, you can see if it is not meant to be the same steep slope, so it can exhibit a variety of scales. But see over here, this is also again a diagram of normal fault. This is your extension. Okay, here you can see the hanging wall. This hanging wall is moving downwards. Okay, and what is happening? The lengthening or extension of the crust is taking place. Okay, what is happening over here? The extension of the crust is taking place over here. Okay, see over here also you can see these are examples of consecutive normal faults. Okay, now there are two different more terms also. Whenever there is certain basin areas, or you can say mountain areas. In mountain areas, you will definitely find the valleys and the river basins, etc. Okay, so all these physical features or geographical features, you can say, these are formed due to these geological considerations or geological structure. So the normal fault, see over here, the consecutive, this is a fault over here, this is fault, this is your hanging wall which has moved downward, then this is a footwall, then this footwall is again acting as a this thing. This hanging wall is again, you can see the relative movement of the new hanging wall downwards as compared to the relative footwall. Okay, so this normal fault which is bounded by valleys is known as graben. Okay, this one. Okay, and the normal fault which is bounded by ridges like this, the top surface, this is known as what? Horse. Okay, so these uh, graben and horse, these are what? These are geological formations which are a part of what you can say, the type of fault or a part of fault which can be found in the mountain ranges. Okay, so uh, see, in layman terms, if you'll talk, the river basin, where the river basins will be there, they will be under graben. Okay, so this basin area always has a series of horts and graben. Why? Because the water will be stagnating, or you can say the collecting or flowing in the graben area, and it will be supported by what? It will be supported by the horts. Okay, any doubt till here?
No, sir.
Okay. The next one is we have discussed, that is reverse fault. The reverse fault में क्या होता है? Just opposite of the normal fault. That means reversal will take place. That means what? The hanging wall, instead of moving downwards, it will move upward, relatively upward with the same footwall as compared to the footwall. Okay. So what will happen? The reverse fault, they always have, what is the specialty? They always have dips which are greater than 45 degrees. Okay, if it is less than 45 degree, it will be what? Which fault it will be? चार टाइप के फॉल्ट पड़े थे ना, which fault it will be? Say over here, the angle is less than 45 degrees. See, in thrust fault you can see why we referred over here as a low angle reverse fault is there. This thrust fault is always considered as low angle reverse fault. That means the angle of dip is less than 45 degrees. Okay, so if the angle of dip for reverse fault, it should be greater than 45 degrees. Again, this occurs due to compressive forces on the rock. See over here. This is a realistic diagram or image, and this is a 3D diagram of how the thrust faults take place. Okay, so they are always characterized by a low dip angle, that is relatively less than 45 degrees. Okay, then we have strike slip faults. These are the faults which are not generated along the dip, but they occur along the the strike line. See, so what is the strike line? What the strike line shows? It shows the orientation of the rock. Okay, so these are always dominant displacement. The rocks in which the faults in which the dominant displacement is horizontal and parallel to the strike of the fault. Okay, that means uh, whatever the situation is, these faults will always be generated, or you can say occur. They will occur along the same line of strike. Okay, so they are always mostly parallel to the strike. Then these kind of faults, they occur due to shear stress. They don't occur due to compressive stress. They don't occur due to tensile stress. They occur due to which kind of stress in the rock? Shear stress in the rock. Okay. Then further, these strike slip faults are divided into two categories, that is right lateral and left lateral. Why these classification is done? Because as you face the fault, the block on the opposite side of the fault moves to the right. So this one will be your right lateral. Okay, right lateral fault. And vice versa of this, that means as you face the fault, if you are facing this particular fault, see in the second last diagram, the same, the one which is having the layered structures of brown, so where the black arrows are there. So just look at the diagram, okay, and face the fault. Just consider yourself facing the fault. So what will happen? The block moves on the opposite side of the fault, okay, and it moves to the left. So this is your left lateral. See over here again. The first one is your image for left lateral strike slip fault, and the second one, that is the right lateral strike slip fault. Okay, so once again we'll just brush up, or you can say we'll have a summary of the types of faults. Okay, so with the realistic diagram, we'll see this. These are the projected diagram. The first one is normal fault. What will happen in normal fault? The hanging wall is going downwards. Okay, then dip slip is greater than 45 degrees, and it is occurring due to tension. Then reverse fault, the hanging wall is going upward, dip slip is greater than 45 degree and occurring due to compressional stresses. Then the thrust fault की क्या characterization होता? The dip slip. See over here, the dip angle is how much? It is less than 45 degrees. And lastly, the strike slip fault. The fault is occurring along the strike line. See this one, horizontal line. Okay, and this is occurring due to shear stress. See over here, there is one more diagram showing clearly the dip slip fault and the strike slip fault. Okay, so you can clearly see the difference. In dip slip fault, the faults are occurring along the dip line, or you can say the dip of the rock. And in strike slip fault, the faults are occurring along the strike line. Then apart from that, there are some additional terms. See, if you consider this particular 3D diagram, just hold on for a second. Just look at the diagram for clearly. Yes. So now that you have observed this diagram, anybody who can tell me what exactly you have observed in this particular 3D diagram? What is happening over here? Is anybody who can describe? Aram, Naveen, Pratham, you all can listen me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what do you see over here in this particular diagram? What is happening? Till now, since last 15 minutes, you people have studied what is hanging wall, what is foot wall. Okay, then what kind of faults are there which are generated? So which kind of fault is this? This hanging wall, how the movement has taken place?
The normal.
This is a normal fault. Why normal fault? Because hanging wall has moved.
Normal.
Is upward.
Hanging wall कहाँ गया है? It has moved downwards. Okay, so this is a normal fault. Okay, then there are certain common terms like over here you can see rake. What is rake? See over here in the diagram you can see it is written over here rake. So this ramp like structure which is formed after the fault plane has occurred, okay, that is the slip direction of the hanging wall. Okay, this is known as the rake.
Hanging block.
And
Hanging
if you
wall
are,
block.
yeah, and if it is asked to measure the rake angle, then the angle which this particular line, just a minute, the angle which this particular line, that is the edge of the hanging wall, the this inclined edge of the hanging wall, this is making with the horizontal line, this particular thing of hanging wall on this plane, raking plane, this angle will be your rake angle. Okay, so this is sometimes it is beneficial to study all these angles and all for for the analysis of this particular type of faults. Okay. Yeah, then at times we have to study the slip amount also. So for that we have certain terms like net slip. Net slip is the total slip which occurs on the fault. Then dip slip, the total slip that occurs along the dip, or you can say sometimes parallel to the dip, along the dip or parallel to the dip, it is the same thing. Then strike slip, that is the strike parallel slip component. Then there is vertical throw. What is vertical throw? How much the same movement has taken place in the vertical direction, that is your in the direction of slip, that is your vertical component. If you measure the vertical component of the net slip, that is your vertical throw. And horizontal throw, similarly, with respect to the net slip, if you measure the total horizontal displacement, that is your horizontal throw. It is known as horizontal throw. So these are all terminologies whenever you want to analyze a particular fault plane at in depth. Now there are certain faults plays or implications also, that is smaller segment of faults. See over here, have a look at the this particular photograph. Okay, so over here you can see over here there are small fragments of faults which are taking place, okay, within the rock itself. See, this is the Nevada mountain. Okay, whoever among you have played this Asphalt 8 game, okay, Asphalt 8, Asphalt 9, whatever the game is there, there's a very famous track for Nevada
Yes,
construction.
sir.
Okay, so Nevada is also famous for these Sierra mountains. Okay, so these Sierra mountains, these are creation of what? Creation of fault plains. It's exactly. Okay, so these mountains are a result of occurrence of the faults. Okay, now there are certain criteria to identify the faults. That is a fault scrap. Okay, so before the formation of a fault scrap is, I'll explain with the help of figure only. Okay, see this one. See over here, if you will consider an entire geological body, so you will not be able to identify this particular line. Okay, this one, just a minute. Yeah, this area. it may happen that this area may not be visible due to the vegetation or due to certain deposition or weathering that has taken place over here. So how you can discover that whether there will be a fault over here or not? With the help of fault scrap. What is fault scrap? This is this particular area, that is this, which is this area. This area is of, in this case it is of द फुटबॉल। ओके, लेकिन अगर रिवर्स
Football.
फॉल्ट होता तो यही एरिया किस चीज़ का हम कंसिडर करते हैं? ये जो एरिया तुम्हें विजिबल होता ये होता तुम्हें विजिबल हैंगिंग वॉल का। ठीक है, अब इससे हमें पता कैसे चलता है? वी कम टू नो विद द फैक्ट दैट जहाँ पर भी एक नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी है, वील सी द इमेजेस, बट this particular area of the rock will be exposed in the environment, and due to its exposure you can clearly see that it is a particular broken rock. See, अगर कोई तुम्हारे पास एक कोई बड़ा सा स्लैब है रॉक का, तुम उसे ब्रेक करोगे और ब्रेक करके तुम अलग कर दोगे, या तुम स्लाइड करके थोड़ा सा नीचे, जस्ट लाइक सिमिलर टू दिस डायग्राम यू विल प्लेस इट लाइक दिस, तो क्या होगा? जो टूटा हुआ पोर्शन है उसका टेक्सचर हमेशा तुम्हें क्या दिखेगा? अलग दिखेगा। दिखता है, नहीं दिखता है? तो टूटे हुए पोर्शन का जो ब्रोकन रॉक है उसका टेक्सचर हमेशा तुम्हें अलग दिखाई देगा। सो दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया इज नोन एज फॉल्ट स्क्रैप, and this fault scrap is very helpful in identifying that there will be a fault line over here, and with the help of this you will be able to identify the fault line. Once you get the fault line, you will be getting what? The ore veins, and you will be able to extract the ores from the minerals over there present in that particular fault line. See, like this is a realistic image of that particular fault scrap. तो यहाँ पे ये जो shaded portion है जहाँ पे shadow है, ठीक है, ये shadow वाला portion क्या है? अगर तुम नॉर्मली देखोगे, दूर से देखोगे तो तुम्हें लगेगा कि ये नॉर्मल माउंटेन है, बट व्हेन यू कम क्लोज एंड you'll be observing this, then you'll come to know that the texture of this particular this thing, fault scrap, it is particularly a fault scrap. So you'll come to know it with the help of texture only. और अगर यहाँ पे देखोगे तो फॉल्ट विजिबल नहीं है तुम्हें। अगर यहाँ क्लियरली देखोगे तो ये ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे जॉइंट है। दिस इज नॉट यू नो फीलिंग लाइक इट इज अ fault line. Okay, then there is slicken side. This is the property I was talking about just in 2 slides back. Slicken slide is what? ये तुमने नॉर्मली भी ऑब्जर्व किया होगा, कोई भी रॉक अगर तुम तोड़ देते हो, ठीक, टेक एनी स्टोन, एनी काइंड ऑफ रॉक है, एंड ओके एंड ब्रेक इट, तो जैसे ही तुम तोड़ोगे तो क्या देखते हो तुम? मोस्टली तुम क्या ऑब्जर्व करते हो? जो टूटे हुए पोर्शन का इनर स्ट्रक्चर निकलता है वो क्या निकलता है? भले ही वो ओवरऑल टेक्सचर उसका क्या हो, अनइवन हो, लेकिन देर आर सर्फेसेस जहाँ पर बहुत स्मूथ तुम्हें ये मिलेगा, पॉलिश सरफेस मिलेगा। मिलता है, नहीं मिलता? अगर ब्रिटल फ्रैक्चर भी है, ठीक है, तो भी देर विल बी सर्टेन पैचेस जहाँ पे स्मूथनेस होगी अलग ही रॉक की। ठीक, so that particular smooth polished
Yes.
surface which is caused by frictional movement between rocks along the two sides of a fault, that is known as what? That is known as slicken side. See, in this particular image that is on a very large scale, और यही चीज़ जब तुम छोटा सा पत्थर कोई तोड़ के देखोगे तो वो स्मॉल स्केल पे तुम्हें दिखाई देगी। ओके, तो जब यही पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस नेचुरली होता है, नेचुरली फॉल्ट क्या है? कोई भी यू कैन से अ वेरी लार्ज रॉक मास इज एक्चुअली ब्रेकिंग। ठीक, तो जब टूटता है तो यही सारी प्रॉपर्टीज आएंगी जैसे तुम नॉर्मल छोटे पत्थर को तोड़ते हो। See over here, again here you can see slicken side. Okay, in this particular area, see there are so many this thing patches जहाँ पे तुम्हें slicken side दिखाई दे रहा है। Then there is mineralization. Whenever the formation of fault is there, okay, so this friction along the block of faults, it always causes dynamic metamorphism. And always remember this thing: whenever the metamorphism takes place between the rocks or in the inside the earth strata, then always new minerals will be generated, okay, or existing minerals will be what? They will be deposited, or minerals what do you say, mineral reserves will be created. Okay, so over here also it happens in mineralization that whenever rock for the fault formation is there, mineralization always takes place. See, like this over here, ठीक है? तो दोनों चीज़ें हो सकती हैं, या तो तुम अगर कोई तुम्हारा फॉल्ट क्रिएट हो रहा है तो क्या होगा, हो सकता है कि ऑलरेडी कोई मिनरल रिच तुम्हारा फॉल्ट प्लेन हो, जो कि जैसे ही फॉल्ट अराइज हुआ तो वहाँ से मिनरल क्या हुआ, तुम्हारा डिस्पैच हो गया और इट मे बी इंट्रैप्ड और कलेक्टेड समवेयर एल्स क्रिएटिंग अ न्यू रिजर्व। या फिर दूसरी चीज़ क्या हो सकती है कि फ्रिक्शन between two fault planes can generate or you can say not generate, can accumulate new minerals, okay, and it may generate new mineral reserves, okay. देन देर इज स्ट्रीम अलाइनमेंट, जो तुम लोगों ने स्टार्टिंग वाली जो स्लाइड थी उसमें तुम लोगों ने देखा था। स्ट्रीम अलाइनमेंट क्या है, दैट इज ऑफसेट स्ट्रीम्स। ये बेसिकली फॉल्ट जो भी जनरेट होते हैं वही सेम चीज़ है कि फॉल्ट जो भी जनरेट होगा इट विल बी आइदर जनरेटेड अलोंग द डिप और इट विल बी जनरेटेड अलोंग द स्ट्राइक प्लेन। So it always run parallel to the strike plane or the dip line, okay. And if the stream is changing its path, then it shows the presence of faults. That means the river bodies, okay. If a particular river body is changing the direction completely, okay, whenever the change is there, that means it always indicates what, it always indicates the presence of fault over there. Okay. Then valleys. See, in the starting we have studied in case of the normal faults, the basin areas, the valleys, all these are formed with the help of faults or folds only. Okay. So not just faults, folds also they are created. See, fold mountains are different. Fault mountains or fault mountain ranges are different. Fault mountain ranges जो होते हैं तुम्हारी, वो तुम्हारा comparatively क्या होता है, lower heights की होती है। लेकिन fold mountains जो होते हैं तुम्हारे, वहाँ पर height of the mountain actually matters and it is comparatively larger. Then fault may also lead to the formation of hot water stream. Hot water stream, how many of you have seen this hot water stream? In India also, if you'll go to Manali, Manigaran, in hilly areas, Himachal, and there are a couple of more places where you will be finding these hot water stream. So again, this is due to the fact that what, that water will be entrapped over at some place, beneath the earth's crust, and that reserve is broken, or due to the breaking of the earth's crust or generation of fault, what happens, the water releases, okay. And since it is coming, it is underground water, and due to geothermal energy, what happens, the heat of the water will be comparatively having a higher temperature, okay. Then at times waterfalls are also generated, and they also suggest the presence of oblique faults. See, like here is a realistic image, okay. So basically these are the geological formations like fold and faults, dip and strike. All these are what, major geological formation based on which you study all the this thing, mountain ranges, the formation of different plain areas, plateaus areas, okay. All these formation take place, or you can say the origination take place from the geological structures only, okay. So this was all about the folds and faults. Any doubt till here?
No, sir.